You're going to need a drill, some pliers, 3 zip ties about 8 inches long, a couple screwdrivers, a knife, clamp, jigsaw, an old door handle, and some drills. So basically to start, I'm not going to show you how to take off the panel, but you're going to take the panel off and you're going to figure out exactly where you want the door handle to be. I just took a wax marker and crayon, I guess, and just sort of drew around where I wanted to cut the hole for the handle to go into. I wanted to make the hole a little bit smaller than I needed. That way I can make small adjustments. You don't want to make it too big because then you're just kind of messed up. So I started to drill and then I realized that, well, I got a bit of a problem. The insulation is still attached to the back and I got my drill fouled up. So I just sort of ripped that out, got that out of the way. I'll replace it later. Finished drilling all 4 holes, and then when the 4th hole was drilled, I just grabbed my jigsaw and just sort of cut that out. Like I said, you want to leave a little bit of room for adjustment, so I just took a little bit of time and adjusted to make sure that this handle would fit in nicely. Now for the pull handle, I did basically the same thing. Get the insulation out of the way and then drill the holes. Wanted to make the hole a little bit smaller than I wanted to with the jigsaw. That way you just leave some room for adjustments later. And you can see it fits in pretty good. So I just took some double-sided tape and put it all over the back where just to hold the insulation sort of in place. Put the insulation back there, cut a couple holes for the 2 handles. Now going to the door, you want to find the mechanism that opens and closes the door. It's just behind the latch. I took one of the zip ties and I just fed it through there opposite to the direction that you're going to pull. You can see that way the end of the zip tie acts as a stop. I just sort of fed the zip tie over towards the door where the door handle was going to be. I put a piece of scrap wood up behind where the door handle was. That's what I'm going to screw the door handle to secure it in place. Also, you want to make sure the zip tie is accessible there because you're going to need it. Now put the panel back in place. It's pretty easy. You just snap it back in. Take your door handle, and I took a zip tie and put it up through the door handle, and then took another zip tie and just sort of fed it down on top and then trimmed off the end. This acts as a stop so it can't pull the zip tie through and the door latch will work properly. If you have somebody to hold this for you, that'd be helpful, but I found using a clamp gave me a little bit, just the extra space that I needed with the zip tie. So you're gonna daisy chain the zip tie that you fed through the mechanism onto the zip tie that you just fed through the door handle. And then the part that you cut off, the little piece of zip tie that you threaded back on there, you're gonna cinch that up as tightly as possible, like as tight as you possibly can, and then just sort of trim off the excess. You're gonna put the handle back in place, and then when you remove the clamp, it should work pretty well. Now I just put the pull handle in the spot that I cut out, and I actually drilled a pilot hole and screwed this handle into sort of the body of the car. Now I used some wood screws to screw into the scrap piece of wood that I had up behind the door handle, and that way it's more secure and isn't likely to just come flying out. And I had a little piece of plastic from the inside of the door handle. I just snapped that back in to hide the screws, and that was pretty much it. It works pretty good. It's a lot easier to open it this way than with the old string and whatever method. And then closing, it's really good, easy. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, maybe give me a comment, and subscribe. I might have a couple of more videos coming up regarding my Honda Element in the future.